morning. So this is my second time around. I got 15 minutes into the class and it went blank. So I'm not sure what happened. But if it goes blank again, then this computer is really defunct and I have to throw it away. So today, I think this is either the last class or the second to the last class. And I decided I wanted to do one that you could continue to use. And I thought, well, how about we do the 12 poses for biggest bang for your buck? And then while I was walking the dog, I thought, no, let's add in some strength training too, so you can get the benefits of the things that I've learned this last year. So for the class, you're going to need a mat block, a chair, because we're going to use a chair, a wall, because we're going to do a wall sit. And then you're going to need a variety of weights. And you can use, if you have weights that you can use, there's the 2 pound, this is a 5 pound. I have a variety of them here. If you have 1 or 2, it doesn't make a difference because you can change them if you only have 1. I happen to have 2 5 pounds, but only 1 10 pound and only 1 12 pound. Then if you don't have weights, you can use cans, you can use half-gallon jugs, you can use a gallon jug, you can use a suitcase filled with books. You can come up with stuff. It's really, really important for your health and your longevity and your brain to do resistance training. I can't tell you enough how important that is, which is the reason why I stopped teaching yoga, because it became apparent to me that resistance training and yoga was not going to be enough. That yoga is great. It's good for my back. It's good for a lot, but it's not enough weight that we could get into the practice. So resistance training builds more muscle cells, which helps by absorbing more of the glucose. And it's good for the heart. And what's good for the heart, it's good for the brain. But the other thing that they often don't talk about is resistance training builds more mitochondria. And it's mitochondria dysfunction. Now remember, mitochondria, those little small organelles in each cell of our body, and there's thousands of them in each cell, and they're the ones that take what we eat and produces ATP out of it, which is our energy. It's our currency for our energy. What was it that the person that I was listening to today said that exercise is the elixir of life. And then she had another one. But anyways, so it's really important that you do resistance training. And we're able to build some of it into yoga by using our own body strength and action and resistance. But today we're going to use weights. So I think I already told you, or maybe it was in the previous one, you need the weights, the chair, the wall, and of course your mat and your strap. So let's start off lying on our back in constructive rest. I will be taking notes during this class to see what works and what doesn't work. So, bear with me, because I'm going to probably leave this either up on YouTube or up on the Zoom site, depending on what works best for everyone. So as you lay down in constructive rest, find your comfort. So might need a little bit of wiggling around, maybe lengthening out the neck, chin coming down slightly, arms out at 4 and 7 o'clock, palms up so that your collarbones are as broad as your shoulder blades are snug on the ground. And then your pelvis, maybe you have to rock it around a little bit to get it released, and then let it broaden, spread, and ground. Feet are on the earth. Grounding is our first fundamental. Nice deep breath in all the way out, and as you exhale, relax, letting your body become like like a sack of potatoes that just sinks towards the ground. Second fundamental is finding ease in our body. And we do that first by relaxing our jaw and releasing our tongue to rest quietly in our lower jaw. Then release the muscles, the anxiety that you have in your face. Between your eyebrows, squint of the eyes, the purse of the mouth, let them all soften. Throat softens, back of the neck lengthens, Collarbones are broad, arms soften, chest wall broadens, pelvis relaxes and broadens. Exhale all the way out to the end. And let each inhale through the nose and each exhale all the way out to the end. The third fundamental. So first fundamental is finding our grounding. It's hard to find ease and it's hard to breathe normally when you don't have grounding, when the earth moves beneath you. Second fundamental is finding ease and relaxation in your body. And third fundamental is your exhaling breath, adding on the pulse, down regulating your nervous system. So we'll start off warming up our main joints. Arms up towards the ceiling, protraction and retraction, bringing the arm bones down. Inhale for protraction, exhale for retraction. Notice that we're using all of the shoulders. Shoulder blades come off with protraction. The arm bones come to the front of the socket with protraction. With retraction, they come down into the back of the socket. And then rock your pelvis back and forth to get a little bit of movement in our pelvis. And then bend your elbows over your shoulders. Bring one knee over the hip, the other knee over the hip. Dead bug. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale, coming down. Left leg, right arm. Exhale, coming down. Try to move from your heel, pushing the heel up into the ceiling. And keep your arm bones down and retracted so that your collarbones can be broad. Continuing going from one side to the other. Dead bug is one of those things that's just a really good exercise. It's a great pre-yoga exercise. You can also do yoga sit-ups, Uddiyana Bandha wake up. You've learned quite a few, but this is one of the ones that is pretty much a hallmark. Both arms and legs up. If you need to take a break with the knees into the chest, go ahead. Inhale wide and back to center. We're just moving and warming up, getting those hips to move, getting those shoulders to move. Remember, you're drawing the arm bones into the back of the socket. And then we're ready to do 3. So right leg, left arm, out and back. Left leg, right arm, out and back. Continue with your own, reaching with the heel. Remember, the arms can go all the way out to hover above the ground, but the legs are only going to go out as far as you can keep your pelvis absolutely stable. And that means not letting your ego get in. Maybe you're only going out 6 inches, 2 inches, whatever it takes to keep the non-moving leg stable. Don't let your pelvis move from side to side. And then when you finish this round, knees into the chest, give yourself a rock and roll. Arms up, legs up, heels reaching, arm bones down, overhead. So right leg comes down, left arm goes overhead. You can touch the floor if you need to. You can only go down 3 inches if you can't come all the way down to the floor. Make sure you knit your ribs so that you have nice stability and you're not. I find that if I don't knit my ribs, my left SI joint cracks. So if you find that your SI joint is cracking, try knitting your ribs a little bit more. If your lower back comes up off of the floor, roll the pubic bone into the belly button, continuing to move opposite arm to opposite leg, building strength in our core. And when you finish this round, knees into the chest, give yourself a rock. And then roll over onto your side and come up to tabletop. If you need protection for your knees, this would be a good time to get them. I didn't have them in the first round, so now I do. Okay, so we'll just start off with La-di-da cat-cow. Opening up the chest and cow, pushing the floor away from you, tailbone up to the ceiling. Arm bones go to the front of the socket. In cat, and in cow, they go into the back of the socket. I misspoke a bit. Couple of cat cows, just to warm up. And then wherever you are, now move from your sits bones. That allows your spine to differentiate vertebra to vertebra and stay in the pose as the sits bones come apart or come together, bringing you into the opposite pose, allowing the back to indulate like a giant whip. We've done this enough times in class that you know what I'm talking about. And then come to tabletop. So we've done extension and flexion. Now let's do wag the tail. Take the left hand over to the right, outside right, the left ankle goes over the right ankle, wag your tail and look over your right shoulder. The lateral fascia line, and then back to center, over to the other side. Right ankle crosses left, right hand goes to the outside, wag the tail to the left and look over your left shoulder. And then bring your hand back and uncross and a cat cow. And then we'll do thread the needle, right arm out to the side. Underneath the left, right arm comes down, left arm comes up in front. Reach the right arm away from you. You're up on fingertips. Now, if you like, you can bring your left arm onto your sacrum, or you can raise the arm up to the ceiling. I'm preferential to, I like that arm stretch because there aren't many places where we can get that nice stretch in your pec muscles. One more breath. And then bring your arm underneath your shoulder, pushing up and a cat. Tabletop, knit your ribs, left arm out and under, bringing the left cheek down, taking the right arm up on your spider fingers, reach the left arm a little bit further, and then breathe. And pay attention to where the breath moves and how your body moves to the breath. If you like, you can take your left hand, your right hand onto your sacrum or up towards the ceiling. But like I said, I like my hand out in front. And then bring the hand underneath your shoulder, and again, 2 cat cows. So we've done the 6 movements of the spine. We've done dead bug, but another great one for your core is pointer dog. So take your right hand out, little finger down, thumb up, and left leg out. And then raise the arm up and raise the leg up. My knee is hurting me enough that I can hardly do this. Now holding it is isometric and balanced, that's good. So if you want to hold it, that's good. Strength building and movement, we'll do it 5 times. Take the left arm out and the right leg out. Raise the right leg and left arm. Reach out with the heel so that leg can be as straight as possible. And then come down. And now, if you like, we're going to do it 5 times. If you don't like, then you hold it just statically, or you can just do cat cow. So left arm, right leg, right arm, left leg. In class, we do this 10 times as a warm-up. Left arm, right leg, right arm, left leg. That's 2. 3. 3. 4. 4. 5. 5. And cat cow. And with the last cat, sink back into child's pose. Hands go out in front of you. Little fingers on the edge. Press down and pull 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Working on those back muscles. Press down and pull 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. This time coming forward into knee up dog. You can stay in knee up dog, or you can curl your toes and raise the knees, reaching the heels out, little pulses, giving those calves a nice little stretch, and then push back, pike up to down dog. Down dog, externally rotate the upper arm bones, reach the tailbone up the wall behind you, reach the heels towards the ceiling, bend the right knee, towards the floor, left knee towards the floor. Bend the left knee, right heel towards the floor. And then both of them together. And on the exhale, bend the knees, look up to the hand, hold it for a second, and then walk your feet forward. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold. Push down to come all the way up and back to mountain. Get ready for heels up, okay? Heels up, arms up, heels down, arms down. 2 more times. Heels up, arms up. Heels down, arms down. Adding on chair. Heels up, arms up. Oh, let's do horse. Horse, you come straight down. Gives a nice stretch to your calves. So your pelvis is directly over your heels and your knees are forward over your toes. Press down to come up. Did you feel some of that in your legs? Good. Heels up, arms up. Ooh. Heels down. Now we come into chair. Bum goes back. Also called fierce. Great strength building pose. Knit your ribs and let your lower back relax and forward fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, feet step back, down dog. From down dog, we come forward into plank. From plank, you can hold it this whole time, or you can do your push-ups. You can come down onto your knees. You can go all the way down to the ground and push all the way up and do 8 of them. Now, if you can't come all the way down to the ground, come down as far as you can. If you can do it from your toes, look at that. I can now do it from my toes. A little sloppy, but I'm able to do it. So who says, huh? And then come all the way down to prone mountain. There's great back building possibilities in prone mountain. Hands are at your heart. Press down and pull back to lengthen out your neck. Ground your pubic bone. Inhale, coming up into baby cobra. Keep pulling on that, on your hands. That's going to lengthen the neck, lengthen your spine, and it's also going to help with building the muscles between your shoulder blades, and then come back down. Same thing, we're going to add on the legs. So lift the right leg and lengthen out. Lift the left leg, lengthen out. Round the pubic bone. Press down, pull back with the hands. Inhale, coming up. Now, you can raise the legs up and reach out with the little toe. That's going to end up being an internal rotation. You can take the legs out to the side and back, the side and back. You can take the hands and pull back. So this then becomes strength building, action and resistance for your arms 8 times. Or you can just hold, or you can come down and rest. Crocodile pose. So the next one that he has was classic. And actually, I'm not going to do classic. So we're going to take that out and we're going to do Sphinx instead, because I think Sphinx works better. So Sphinx elbows are below your shoulders. Palms are on the ground straight out. Press down with the elbows to raise the chest. So the arm bones are in the front of the socket. Now knit your ribs and see if you can get your whole belly up off of the ground. I'm to the place where I'm just supporting myself on my elbows and my thighs. My belly and my hips are off the ground. And this is isometric. Holding it, breathing, relaxing your jaw, and then come down to crocodile pose, head in the opposite direction. Then do a push-up. Now you can do a regular push-up or you can do a knee plank push-up. So hands are under your shoulders and push up to your knees, go back to child's pose. And we're once again in that position. Plant your hands, pull back 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Pull 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And I think this time we come forward. Inhale, coming forward into knee up dog. Curl the toes. Reach out with the heels. Raise the knees. And go to down dog. Now you can stay in down dog. Or if you like, you can do the knee touch in down dog. Remember to externally rotate the arm bones. Knee touches and goes back up. 5 times. Touches and goes back up. So we're using our body weight, which is a great place to start for building strength. Last time into down dog, end of the exhale, bend the knees, look up to the hands, and walk your feet forward. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold. Push down to come all the way up and back to mountain. Well, this is where the last time it went blank. So hopefully I'm going to make sure that this computer has no battery left to it. If it's loose at all, it comes out. Okay, so make sure your different weights available. We're going to do sumo. And then we're going to do bicep curls with our sumos. So I'm going to choose the 5s. Bicep curls are for the lightest, okay? You can just put them down in front of you, hands at hips. So on your handout, there's going to be like 5 or 6 different options you can do every time you do a sumo. Choose one of the options, and I will go through all of them this first time, okay? So regular sumo. Exhale, coming down. Come down a little further and come up. Now, sumo, action and resistance, and you're using your own muscles to work against each other, okay? So next time you come down, grab, and we're going to do a curl with the palms up. So this is the first one. And whenever we do it, you're going to do 8 of them. So this was 2. Still doing the action resistance, coming down as low as we can. For the sumo, we're working the big muscles of our legs, which are the biggest muscles. I think that's 5. They're too light for me. 6, 7, and 8. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to go through all of them with you. So grab the weights that maybe I won't change weights. So this one is called the hammer bicep curl. So instead of out in front, your thumbs are up. So we come down and we come up. Now we're going to do 4 of each. So now when we come down, you're going to hold it and you're going to do the triceps. So that's kicking them back to your straight arms. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and coming up. Enough for the arms already, right? So put that aside and now grab, let's see, what did I have the other options? Overhead and lift. Let's not do that one because I want our arms to get a rest. Grab whatever is your heaviest weight for, it's called a deadlift. And this is when you need to lift something up that's heavy, that's on the ground. So you have your feet stable underneath you, a little bit wider because we're going to do it with sumo. Sumo down, grab onto your weight, and come up. It went off again. God damn it. What is wrong? Is it still recording? I'm sorry, did you, and it doesn't have the record button here anymore. Huh. I wonder if it's still recording. Well, sorry for my, oh, it says pause, stop recording. Okay, so it's still working. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this computer. But deadlift, I gave you a chance to rest, didn't it? So the deadlift, you're at sort of a half sumo squat. Squat down and you lift it up. And you want to do an explosive. Touch the ground and up. If that's too much, you can come down just a little bit and come up, but you can feel it. I can feel it in my belly. 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that's, and then the last one, we're not going to do all, each time you only just choose one, okay? When you do the hand up. The last one would be sumo with the overhead. So here you would do probably lighter. This is lighter, the bicep curls and the triceps. And this one can be heavier. So sumo down, press down on the feet to explosive up. Sumo down, 2. So that variations that you could do, and you can choose any of them, is to do 1 at a time. Do 2 at a time. Seesaw, so that you're doing both of them. Okay, so we've probably done 8 by the time we've given all of those. Okay, so we've done enough of that. Now we're going to go into our side fascia line. So left heel turns out, right toe turns out. Action and resistance. Exhale to bend, inhale to straighten. You can feel that my heart rate is a little bit higher. So we're just going to cool down as we warm up our knees. Now there's also options here. You can do your bicep curls. You can do your tricep curls. You can do your overhead. So you can add that onto any of the yoga poses. Next time knee bends, pausing here, tipping over. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do warrior 2 first. Warrior 2. Now warrior 2. Reach those fingers out, pull the arm bones slightly in so that you have that stability. Turn your head. And you're just holding. You can always come down a little further, but you have to wiggle your toes out further. Makes it harder. With the next inhale, tip forward. Let's do version 1. Version 2, straight up. Maybe coming down. And version 3. And sometimes going through all the versions gets just a little bit more. Or you can choose any one of them and do any one that you prefer. And come all the way back up to warrior 2. And then reverse warrior. Because we love it, right? Straightening the knee and bending the knee. So standing gait and reverse warrior. Movement is motion, right? Leg down, arm down, legs forward. Choose which one you want to do with your sumo, okay? So I'm going to choose my slightly heavier ones because they were too light for me. And we're going to do 8, well, let's do 6 because we're doing so many of them. So bicep curls, up, down. It doesn't matter whether you do the bicep curls as you come up or whether you do them as you come down. I almost prefer them because when you push up on the feet, it helps you bring them up. So maybe you chose something else, right? That's okay, as long as you do 6 or 8. Remember, 8 is the minimum, but by doing them so many times in class, we're going to end up getting more than 8. And then we're going to put those down, and we'll go to the other side. Right toes turn in, left toes turn out. Exhale to bend the knee, inhale to straighten. Give you a chance to let your arms rest. Next time knee bends, pausing here, hands to heart. A little bit of pressure on your hands, remember? Inhale up and out. Warrior 2. That right hip slightly rolls forward as the right arm rolls back. With the next inhale, tip the pelvis, drop the forearm, walk that leg back a little bit more if you like. External rotation, up and over the ear. Look underneath, that adds the twist. Reach out with the heel, roll the ankle out, round the big toe. And then going into version 2, come straight back and straight up. If you like version 2, bringing your hand down to the floor. And then version 3, arm comes down, look down at your front foot, and the arm comes up by your ear. That back leg internally rotates. And then press down to come up into warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Standing gate. Reverse warrior. Standing gate. You can change your head position to help with balance. By changing your ear position, you can always practice with me long enough to know there's a lot of variations you can do to make it more interesting next time. Arms down, feet forward. Now I did bicep curls. You might have done something else. Choose what you want to do next. So choose your weights. I'm going to get the same weights, and I'm going to do the overhead. So sumo down, push up. Sumo down, push up. And I've got probably a little bit of ADD, so I get bored. So then I like to do variety. So I'm not doing the same thing times 8, but I'm still exercising and building that strength and maybe doing something different. Okay, we've done 8, so we've done both sides. So instead of doing the front flow, I want to do the chair because there's some really wonderful things we can do with the chair and high lunge. So we're going to do low lunge on the chair. We're going to do pyramid. And then we're going to do lunges forward and back because they're really good for us. Remember, it's all about the muscles here. So inhale, up salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot steps as far back as you can. Left foot comes forward. Pelvis drops down. Pelvis rolls forward. Okay? I can't find a better way to get this stretch than on the chair. When I'm on the floor, I find that my back does not get that same nice arch. If you can, then go for it. But I like the chair because then I've got it here to use for pyramid and for balance when we do the others. So that's why I like it here. And then the left foot steps back, down dog, releasing the back. And the right foot steps forward, getting that lunge on the other side, opening up that whole front fascia line. Reach out with the heel, pelvis sinks, chest opens, throat opens. And breathe. And then stepping forward, inhale, exhale, forward fold. Push down to come all the way up and back to mountain. We'll go to the other side. Inhale, up salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot steps back because right foot stepped back first last time, opening up. The classic is waiting 5 breaths. I'm going to do 3 because we're doing so much. And then step back to down dog. And the left foot step back, so the left foot steps forward to get the stretch on the right side. And then push off, come up to halfway lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, coming up and back to mountain. So let's do a little bit of wall sit. So come to the wall. Your feet are about a foot 18 inches ahead, so that when you come down, your knees are directly over your ankles. You might have to adjust your feet a little bit. And you want to come down, if you can, to 90, 90, 90. Press your feet into the floor. Press your back and your head and your arms into the wall and hold. Now, the longer you can hold, the better, right? And if you can hold it for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, that's better. But we have lots to get through, so we're just going to hold it for another 2 breaths. And to come off, lean forward and push off and come forward. So that uses your quads, which, by the way, they just discovered another quad, and it's going to probably be the quintuceps. So for pyramid, we're going to have right foot forward and put your hands down and put the left foot back just a little bit, not too much. Straighten that right leg and roll the left hip forward so that it's stable and parallel to the floor. Inhale, lengthen out through the spine. And exhale, see if you can sink down a little more, okay? Maybe you can come down where your forearms are on the chair. And maybe you can come down where your hands come down all the way down to your feet. And your head comes onto the chair. Balance. Try to keep that right leg, that front leg straight. Mine's gotten bent, so I've gone down too far. So I need to probably stay right here to keep that leg straight. And you can feel that whole back fascial line. Just breathe into it. One more breath. And then we'll come forward and step the other leg back. So straighten that front leg. It tends to want to bend. Pull the thigh into the hip. Roll the right hip forward. And then lengthen out the spine. And maybe you stay up here, which is probably where I should stay on this side, because it looks like I'm pretty tight. Maybe you can bend the elbows. Maybe the whole elbow can come onto and maybe you can bring your hands down. I don't think I can on this side, but you explore your body. Don't let that right hip roll up. Keep that right hip roll down. And take 3 breaths wherever you are. And then stepping forward. And coming up. So to demo, you don't probably have to move your chair, but I'm going to do it for demo. And you don't have to use the chair. In class, I use whatever I can hold on to. But the instructions are to do 8 to 10 forward lunges and then 8 to 10 backward lunges. So a forward lunge, let's start off with the right leg. Goes forward, bend the knee until it touches the ground, comes back up and steps. That's 1. 2. Let's do 5. 3. Notice I'm not touching the ground. 4. I touched the ground that time. 5. And then the other side. 1. 2. It's great for balance, great for those big legs, muscles. 3. 4. And 5. And then backward lunges is just the opposite. If I have enough room. So you step back, come down to touch, and come forward. 1, 2. Aren't you glad we're not doing 8? 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so that's building on the leg muscles. Another really good one. And for those of you who want, I've only just started adding weight, so most of you probably won't, but I can think of one of you that will. So this is, you take the opposite foot back. So the foot that's back, that's the foot that has the weight, okay? And you come forward, touch the ground and come up. Now, ideally, it's warrior 3. Leg comes up and down. So it's warrior 3 with weights and chair for support. So if you like, you can grab a heavier weight if that's too easy for you. Okay? Otherwise, you're welcome to just keep your foot on the ground. I think we've done enough, so now let's go to the other side. So the leg that's on the inside, your weight is on the outside. That's the leg. So the leg goes up, touch the ground, and come back up. Warrior 3 with support and weight. Moving, the front knee is just lightly bent. You don't bend it real far, and you also don't keep it straight. I think this is 4, and we said we were going to do 5, right? Okay, so that's the legs. Now I'm going to show you how you can do arms with the chair. And this is called a 3-point row. Now, if you have only one, I have 2, but if you only have 1, that's okay. Just use a block or something. Just hold your hand on the chair. So let's say that we're to take the left leg back, right knee is bent, then the left arm does the row from knee to rib cage. 3, 4, 5, it's too light. 6, 7, 8. This is a 12-pounder, and I've worked my way up from 5 pounds to 25 pounds now. So then we go to the other side. We change the leg back. And I like to be over on the side of the chair so that I have room for it to go down further than the chair. 1, 2, 3, up to the pocket. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Another variation is to have a light hold and pull up 1, press down and pull up on the opposite. So press down on the one that's straight and pull up. So this is just called a row, and the other one is called 2-point row. Okay, so there's that one. You can put those aside. I think I'm done with the weights. I think, but let me check mine. And side angle sumo, 3-point row. Oh, I added on walking lunge, but I think we don't need to do walking lunge, okay? I won't make you do that. Oh, it's like I didn't bring this big of paper. Move the chair aside. We did the wall sit. We did all the chair stuff. And now we're going to come over to the ground. Heels up, arms up. Heels down, horse. Remember, horse is really good for us. With the ribs, arms reach straight up. Shins go over toes. Little light bounces. Press down to come up. Go into chair, heels up, arms up. And come into chair. Can you come down a little lower? Challenge yourself. See if you can come down all the way to sitting on the chair. Press down to come up. Remember, we each work at our own level. Heels up, arms up, heels down, chair, and down dog. Last down dog for the day. Knees come down, child's pose. Crescent child's. We've gotten all of the fascia lines in this practice, plus we've added on some strength building, mostly during sumo, but you can see you can add it on in other places. And then using the chair for lunges. Oh, by the way, go to the other side if you haven't already. And then back to child's pose. And then bring your hands under your shoulders, pushing up and making your way to seated, because next is half fish twist. And I like to sit on something for half fish twist so that my pelvis is a little bit higher, so you can use a blanket or a block. And I'm going to fall off of it. I'm going to do it at an angle so that I don't have to do opposite sides, because that gets me too confused. Legs out straight, reach the heels out, toes towards the nose. This is staff pose, by the way. Nice deep breath. Reach down with the sits bones, tall spine, shoulders roll back. Bend the right knee and bring it up into your chest, or you can roll and bring your foot over to the other side. I think I want to do the weight, which is external rotation. Left arm externally rotates, hooks on, and looks over your right shoulder. Now, as you look over your shoulder's pulling back, belly button rolls back to the opposite side. Move that breath underneath that left shoulder blade. And then release. Left leg comes in or across. Right arm externally rotates. Right hand behind. Internal rotation. Remember, that leg that's sticking out is very active. You're reaching the heel out. Toes are reaching towards your nose. As you look over your left shoulder, your belly button is going back to the right. And with the next exhale, slowly coming out. And coming off of your block, we're going to come down to the floor. And you might want to use one of your weights for bridge, but I'm going to give you some other options that you might not need the weights for the bridge. So, constructive rest, have your strap close by. Now for bridge, let's just do a simple bridge first, okay? So bring your elbows to goalpost hands, press down, this is fish. Press down with the elbows, press down with the back of the head to raise the chest up. And then lower the chest down, bring your hands down, palms down. Push down with the feet to raise the pelvis. Pull the heels towards your chest and reach the knees over your toes. Basic bridge, okay? Now you're going to do 10 of those, or 8 of them. If you like, you can put a weight on your belly so that when you do them, you're raising up more weight. You have to hold on to the weight, otherwise it's going to roll down into your face. Or you can do single leg bridge, where you're just reaching up with one leg up in the air. And I would recommend that before you start using weights. So do 8 of them. And when you finish those 8, go to the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I would say the progression is doing 8 bridges. If that becomes doable to you and if you get at 7 and you can go, I can do 3 more, then you need to step it up. Then I would put a weight on it. If you could then do 8 and you could, I could do more, then you need to go take the weight off and go to the single leg, okay? Grab your strap. And the strap goes around the ball of the foot, the leg straightens out, the arm straightens out, the left leg reaches out, the arm bones pull in. And breathe. Let the heel go towards the ceiling as the ball of the foot relaxes a little bit. So you're reaching the left heel out. You're drawing the arm bones down so that you're using the arm muscles. You're using the muscles between the shoulder blades. And now, wrap it around the right hand, left arm goes out. Inhale here, exhale, your obliques. Okay, so this definitely meets the criteria for bang for the buck. As one, I would say pyramid isn't, except for we get so tight in our hamstrings that I think pyramid is a good thing to add in. And then back to center, and IT band also seems to be a problem. So cross over to the other side, internal rotation of the leg. And then back to center, and a breath or two where one hand is on each strap. And bend the knee, remove the strap, draw the knee in, raise the left leg by rolling the pubic bone into the belly button, arm bones down, point and flex. Rotating, rotating. And then let go of the leg and see if you can still hold it that close. Feel all those muscles work. And then bring the knee over the hip, out to the side. 1, 2, 3 times, 2, like we normally do. 2. Now, every time we do our warm up of our knees, we're also doing the same thing to the pelvic floor. So that's why we don't have to do 8. And then bring the left leg, strap around the ball, straighten the leg, one hand on each strap, reach the right leg out, draw the arm bones down. Release your foot on the gas pedal, let the heel go up to the ceiling. I have to give myself a little more strap to get that knee straight. Yeah, I do it too. Just feel what you feel. Be present in your body. Take both straps into the left hand, right arm extends. Inhale here, exhale out to the side, only as far as you can go and still keep that right hip on the ground, right thumb on the ground. You can turn your head to look over your right thumb. Inhale coming up, grab it with the other hand and cross midline. IT band stretch. Well, I might be getting through this whole class without the computer going off, except for that one. I hope it's still recording. And then one hand on each strap, arm bones down. If it's not, you guys are getting a class this week. And then bend the knee, bring the knee in for wind relieving pose. Roll the pubic bone into the belly button, raise the right leg. Draw the arm bones into the ground, point and flex, point and flex. Circles, and the other direction. And let the leg go down. And then release, draw that knee in a little bit further and release your external support and see if your muscles can hold it close to your chest. And then over the hip, out to the side. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's all. Foot comes down, other foot joins. And last rock and roll. I'm pretty sure, I don't know how much time I've spent, but I do know that the dog needs to go out. Happy baby. Because I had to do the first part twice, so there went 15 minutes. I think I've been pretty efficient. And then bring your knees together and choose where you would like suspend your Shavasana. Because in our practice, we don't do shoulder stand, legs up the wall is a great alternative for your Shavasana because that is the initial pose for legs up the wall. And legs up the wall is a very calming pose. So feel free to do legs up the wall if you like. And wherever you settle, run through your three fundamentals. Are you grounded? Can you find a little bit more relaxation in the body? And bring your awareness to your breath. Follow the wave of your breath as you inhale and exhale. Being in this moment is being on this breath. Right here. This inhale and this exhale. Deeper inhale and a longer exhale. And another deep inhale and a long exhale. Turn back to your normal breath. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Pointing and flexing, rotating. Just bringing a gentle movement back into your ankles and your feet, your wrists and your hands. And bending your knees, bringing your feet to the floor. If you'd like to give yourself a final rock and roll, go ahead and give yourself a final rock and roll. Rolling over onto your side. Lingering, breathing, body in motion with breath in stillness. And slowly make the transition, pushing up and making your way to seated. Hands to heart. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be safe and free from danger. May all beings be free of any form of suffering. May all beings live with ease. Namaste. I certainly hope this worked. Seeing how I've gone through it twice, and give me feedback. Let me know how you liked it, whether I should post it, whether you want it to stay up. Let's see, I think that the recording is still going, so hopefully it worked. Have a good weekend.